Hey, it is Richard, and on this episode of Game Dev in Process, I will be joined by a guest, which will be my wife actually. She is out in Pleasanton today because we're looking after a house. And I've just taken the BART over from downtown SF, and I am running across Pleasanton to go and meet her. This afternoon we're going to grab some boba tea, and I am going to learn how to water the flowers so that I can water the flowers in this house twice while she's away on a trip that is upcoming. The regular second co-host of Game Dev in Process is currently traveling, and that's why we've missed a couple weeks. And so today I'm actually, one of the motivations for recording in this format is that I'm talking right now on a DJI mic, one of two tiny DJI mics that I recently got. They both record independently, so two people can wear them and have a conversation. You can record two channels that way. They both transmit to a base station, which can be connected to a phone. So if you film video, the audio will be synced up. And I will try that today. I tested it once and it works well. But I'll be videotaping the flowers that I'm going to water while me and my wife are talking. I'm also going to record us on our way to get boba tea. So at the moment I'm just approaching the house now. I'll hand her a microphone, make sure she's okay with recording. And then it will just sort of be, hopefully, an authentic conversation between us just on this afternoon. And I plan to, maybe I'll edit it a bit so that it's not multiple hours long. I'll cut out some dead time. But I hope to get something an hour and a half maybe with some footage of flowers being watered. But anyways, that's the idea. So that's what this episode will be. And this will also be a nice test to see how these microphones perform. It'll be educational for me to learn a bit how to get good performance out of them and what they're capable of. It is a bit windy. I'm not using the wind cover, and I know that creates artifacts in the audio. But just this first time, I'm running, it's sweaty. I didn't want to use the covers. Here, I'm pulling out the other microphone. Hello. That's your microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we could if we both just wear them, and they just clip to people's shirts. And we could go get boba first or water the flowers.
Up to you. Where's my... I find my... Yes, please. Up to you. So which one you want to first?
Yeah, I guess I would go to boba first.
Okay.
Want to see if this clips on easily. Pretty much just clipping it, and you can let me know if this works.
Where's my head?
Yeah, I'll leave some stuff here.
Wait. There are udon left over for you for dinner, so we could either bring it back or we could eat it here. Doesn't really matter. I need some toilet paper.
Yeah, I can take the mic if you go to the washroom.
Don't tell me you are recording right now. I'm sorry? Are you recording right now?
Yeah, the plan is just always record, but this will just be,
Okay.
like I'll just edit, maybe I'll edit the good parts. Yeah, these pickup sound really well.
Okay. Yeah, I heard your test. And again, thank you for bringing my hat.
Yeah, that test was kind of cool because I just put my phone on the desk and then I went into the other room and I was talking. And when you plug in, but you can plug in this little adapter to your phone and it syncs, like it uses the microphones as audio instead of the iPhone microphone. And so then you can basically be anywhere and you have like super clear audio, but your phone can be like set up somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, you could also opt out of being recorded if you want. And then like I could be the only one wearing a microphone. But if one of us is wearing a microphone.
I just find it might be weird. Other people thought like we are doing like professional stuff.
Well, you can also unpin it. If you notice people looking at it, you can unpin it and just like keep it in your hand.
Yeah.
And then, basically if it's like anywhere within a few feet of you, it's pretty clear.
Okay, let's go. Yeah. Yeah, I really appreciate that you could water Nancy's flower. Also a book appointment to remove my nail.
Yeah. What? Place?
Downstairs of our
downstairs.
apartment. Yeah, I think it's a bit pricey because their location is right in downtown, but I feel like it doesn't really matter since I just removed my nail,
Yeah.
Yeah, if you are ready to hear some gossip, I could like talk to you, but I don't want it, so I don't want it to be recorded.
I'm gonna like edit this. I'll edit this pretty heavily, and we can even just throw out this entire half of the recording and just like
But
use
what happened
whatever.
one day with yours? You blackmailed me using this record.
Well, it only gets recorded it records
one
locally.
day I become super rich. I divorce you. Then you want more money from me.
Well, yeah, this recording.
Since everything's like,
But if I don't keep part of a recording, I just delete the file completely.
Sure. Like when before FBI arrest you, they always say you have rights to remain silent, but whatever you say will be showed as evidence. They say it in a very professional way, but it's something like that. So.
Yeah, there's also a thing where it's interesting, like those little puff balls that go on the top. I have 2 of those as well. They just go on, but they make it look like very...
I still ordered the things that you.
Yeah, that's for a different microphone.
Okay, got it.
The little puff balls though, they attach to the top of these, but they make it look like too fancy. It's like too obvious that you're wearing something. But like when if it's windy a bit, like there was a couple breezes so far. Yeah, I noticed what happens is when the wind passes over top of the microphone on these things, it makes like a little popping noise, which is typically what you hear like if someone's filming an iPhone video on a windy beach.
Yeah.
And those little puffball things really, they completely eliminate that, like the wind noise.
Okay.
But I find that the wind, it's not that annoying, the wind sound, if you know the audio is like basically low quality anyway. It just sounds like, it's just like an indication that the person is outside pretty much. But it's kind of cool to know like that you could use those puffballs if needed.
Yeah.
But typically it's like, I'd rather like the recording be more discreet and worse than like too professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a point where if you get too high quality, then it seems weird because when it's like recording a casual conversation, like if it's a casual conversation, people expect it to be kind of crappy, and if it's too good, it's like it's like, oh, this person just spent a lot of money on this stuff for what,
Well,
like
I think I don't think that way, but I was thinking that like it's good to do minimal effort to like have an acceptable result instead of like trying so hard and get like perfect, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is fun to work under constraint, and then when you have a constraint removed, you can do new stuff.
Yeah.
And these things seem to they remove like a constraint in terms of like the situations in which you can easily collect high quality audio.
Right.
It's pretty interesting. Like they pick up audio from pretty far away.
Nice.
So you could just put one like in a flower pot in the middle of a dinner table, and it would be just there for like a couple of hours. And
We have potential to work as a spy. Oh my gosh.
that's the one thing
But
is
also like James Bond.
yeah, I always want to make sure I get like people's permission, especially with recording, like especially these days. So that's one thing that I hope I can maintain going forward is like always get people's permission and only use the recording that they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
But the thing is, as devices get smaller and easier, you could just have a recording
Well,
going
I
all
guess
the
it's
time.
like
and then
as long as you don't
yeah.
release the content, it doesn't matter. Like, of course, people cannot tell if it's like private or not. If you are the only one knows the content, if you're the only one knows the content.
Well, I guess I still feel like anything that
you feel guilty because
because also for like cloud, like you can too easily lose track of a file. So it's sort of like anything that's recorded should be assumed.
Then
that
I
it's
always
gonna
find
be
like
good. It's gonna go
always I was wondering like me and Amy was talking that like if you work in politics and you get like high ranking etc., you must know so many secrets that like normal people have no access.
Yeah.
So
I
like
wonder, yeah, and stuff would be dangerous to tell your personal family. That would be very
I don't
taxing.
think they tell their personal family. That's for
Well,
sure.
they're not supposed to, but it would be hard to like go home at the end of the day and know that things are going to happen,
Yeah.
and that you really feel like you want to talk about them because they're so serious.
Yeah.
But then if you don't, it would make you not be able to be fully open with the people that are around you, and that would make you feel lonely, I think. So that would like a certain types of jobs like that where you can't share the info would almost cause people to feel kind of lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, right now I'm watching Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal, and
I'm sorry, who is Nathan Fielder again?
basically like a comedian, but his show The Rehearsal, he
The
basically
show is
does,
called Rehearsal.
yeah, The Rehearsal.
The musical rehearsal.
Well, yeah, it's the word rehearsal meaning just rehearsing for a play
Yeah,
or
I
whatever.
know. Yeah.
Because basically the entire show, he thinks of situations like two pilots in a cockpit, or like various situations like that, and then he really he's like making a show for HBO, but he kind of spares like no expense recreating the whole scenario,
Yeah.
so that he even built like a large part of an airport inside as a set, where he like runs experiments with like pilots talking to each other and pilots like socializing.
Yeah.
And then, for example, he talked to one pilot who was trying to do dating but not having success, and then he hired there was this whole funny situation where he hired like 20 actors to dress up like the guy, and then he like went on a fake date as like a horde of people, where like every time he did something, like if he said, "Oh, do you want to get a coffee?" then these 20 other people dressed like him behind him would also say like, "Do you want to get a coffee?" So it was like this group of people that were just mimicking like whatever he did.
I thought Rehearsal is like a podcast. Or it's like a
Like you
TV
mean it
show.
could mean-
Like because it sounds like
There's like recital. Rehearsal pretty much means
no, I mean the
preparing.
I know what the meaning of rehearsal. What I'm saying is
Oh,
that like
you mean there's a podcast called Rehearsal?
yeah, that's what you said. Like in his rehearsal, right?
Well, his show is called Rehearsal. The
It's a
Rehearsal.
show. I was confirming it's a
Yeah,
TV
TV
show
show.
or
Yeah.
like it's a podcast. Okay, go.
Yeah, which is funny because, for example, for this guy and the girl that he was dating,
Yeah.
he built 5 parallel versions of the guy's apartment in like
Yeah.
in a set, like
Yeah.
in Hollywood or as a set.
Yeah.
And then he hired pairs of like guys and girls to like role play as him and his girlfriend, to role play like the first date, coming back to the apartment, like showing him like there's my aquarium and stuff. And he was running these like things in parallel, and then he brings the guy in and shows him like, here's, I'm investigating all the possibilities of your date, how it could go, by like replicating your apartment and hiring actors to act as you.
Yeah.
But then because his girlfriend is an actor, so he says, would you like to try acting? And then he basically hires the girlfriend to act herself in the role, and then they go to his like fake apartment as a set, and they act out like their date basically, in order to rehearse to make their actual date better or whatever. But it's just kind of funny. That's like what's in my head at the moment, what I'm thinking of, like, because when we went to that Sleep No More thing in New York, remember there was a live acting thing, multi-floors?
Yeah, of course, I remember. What? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
It's like a very unforgettable like thing.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like,
of course,
remember when we went to that?
I was really confused. And honestly, I'm still confused about the purpose of that scene.
This show? Or the Sleep No More?
The Sleep No More.
The thing that I'm mentioning about Sleep No More.
I know
Yeah.
what, like, I
But
already got your point, but
Yeah.
my point was like, I don't understand why they exist. It's like, for me, I won't pay $400 just to do that.
It's kind of a unique experience.
It is, but like not
Yeah.
all the unique experience. It's reasonable. It's like, why don't you try how the poo tastes like? Because it's meaningless.
That was a Nathan Fielder episode. He made an ice cream flavor that
Poo.
tasted like poo
Okay,
to attract
it's like,
business.
yeah, there was a question. It's like, would you eat poo flavor chocolate
people did
or
eat it.
chocolate
And then they were surprised
flavor?
when it did taste like that.
Okay.
They're like, oh, I thought it was gonna be like fake. It tastes like chocolate. He's like, why would you make it taste actually?
Yeah, the question was like, would you eat chocolate flavor poo or poo flavor chocolate? The answer is like, you eat poo flavor chocolate because even though it tastes like poo, but it's still chocolate. Vice versa, the other one. So it's like, there's no, like, I get it, the Sleeping No More is a unique experience, but it's
for me,
from
it
my
was-
perspective,
It gives
Totally
you
waste
another
my money.
perspective. Like for me, the Sleep No More was like, this is exactly like real life, only we're wearing masks to indicate we're the audience, and that's the only difference. And then with the rehearsal, it's like, it's a TV shows are rehearsed, but this is a TV show about rehearsing. And also like people are always putting on an act, like in some sense. So whether you're on a first date trying to sort of communicate non-verbally, or you're on set acting, it's the same. It's like very close to the same thing. But it's like different social environments have different permissions or something.
it's so hot, I
And
shall
then-
not wear my
yeah.
hoodie. But sorry for the interruption.
But that brings us to here where like this experiment of like recording our conversation on the way to get bubble tea as like a game dev in process episode. That's what I'm gonna post it as, is like a game dev in process.
Okay.
And this is sort of like, we have a conversation to entertain ourselves on the way to boba tea.
Well,
But,
I
like,
have
if
to
it's
say, like, when I
entertaining,
wear
then-
these things, like,
It
it focused
affects
me
us. Yeah.
on, like,
we're
it forced
saying.
me to focus on talking to you. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I would on my phone for.
But
partial
isn't that
time.
very interesting? Like I was also thinking that when we film the watering video, like
What
usually
watering?
when you're showing me like what to water, I'm not able to pay attention.
What?
Because you know
You
how
must.
I'm like whenever you're showing me like here's where to keep
Nancy's
this.
hope. It's like that's rebel.
Yeah, I guess that's why in this case I would
what's
pay
the
a bit
word?
more attention.
Rebellion.
Yeah,
That's
it's not fair to them.
That's
Yeah.
blatant rebellion. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking of usually I don't pay attention because you're telling me like where the towels are and stuff.
Yeah.
But if I'm filming a video, then I would pay attention, and I have the video to like remind me. But that's so interesting what you say is like we would be on our phones, but now we're actually talking, which is what we wanted to do anyway. But it's because
There
we
you
think
go.
it's for the
Go.
benefit of someone else.
Yeah.
Okay. Sit up.
Okay, this card cannot be swapped. This machine, I mean.
Yeah, if there's no chip.
No, I want to try it.
That's a chip though. It needs the whole like band.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, then it doesn't work. I'm gonna go to the nearby store to no, it's like it's gonna call my name. I think I'm gonna go to the nearby store to get a green tea latte.
Yeah.
247.
Yeah.
Okay, see ya.
Yeah, you can keep the mic on. It'll just record you locally.
Yeah,
while you're there.
it doesn't matter. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Guys, Papa, go take yours. How is it all?
等不来你的归期，你看不见我哭红的眼睛。我画风行万里，越过大海去找你，一些细雨长雨，走入我的心底。Not ready yet? How to spell bunk? Bed, bunk.
I guess B-U-N-K.
Okay. They don't have matcha latte.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but like,
That's a weird flavor not to have.
the usually coffee store has matcha latte, right? Like even Google has it.
And if it's like a Chinese coffee store, that's like
That's not like Lincoln is not.
not Chinese.
I'm pretty sure it's local America, but yeah.
Does this place have matcha?
I don't like bubble tea much. It's usually like too sweet. Like
What if you get no boba?
no, it's like they have like a very weird taste.
You think
It's
that's-
ready. Want to check out the therapy store?
Yeah, we could.
Go.
But I don't know if I could enter with this.
Well, I'm pretty sure they don't mind.
Yeah, I was in there last time. Yeah, whenever I enter with a boba, I just like kind of stare at them to see if they're like looking at me.
They stare at you at the same time.
We could cross now.
Oh, they need to be here.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
I would just wait outside for you.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I couldn't enter the therapy store with a drink. They had a little place to leave it, but I decided to just wait outside. Yeah, they don't. We are checking out a therapy store after getting boba tea, and they don't allow drinks inside the store. You can leave them on a little cart by the door, but I decided to just wait outside. From watching Min-Max videos where they use these mics, I know that when two people are separated, both people can be talking at the same time and the audio overlaps. You can, because it's two different tracks, you can separate the tracks if you want and play them one after another. But then of course it wouldn't be synced with the video. But at the moment, I'm not taking any video, so it's just audio. If you're within range of the base station though, you can still see the levels on this little LCD screen on the base station if the other person's talking. And I still think something that would be pretty neat is if both people talking had earphones and mics, and when they were separated they could still hear each other. Because I have this idea that it would be cool to put earphones and mics on, say, like a family of 4 or 5 when they're at a theme park on vacation. And even if they weren't separated, even if they were on rides or separated in the park, they could still carry on a conversation.
Yeah, like they don't have the Jellycat I want. Maybe I have to order it online. Like there's like a very specific like Jellycat I want. Yeah, I remember the therapy store. Like I guess they rotate stuff too fast. Like I remember they had it, but now that whole section became like a what is called like a tote bag section.
Yeah, they seem to rotate their stuff a lot.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
maybe they have like storage of stock in a container somewhere.
Since it's a chain, so I assume they always have like a central storage place. Not sure, but.
Yeah, I was thinking when you're in there, like if we're both talking and we can't hear each other, it's still, the mics like still record. So sometimes
Yeah.
in min-max videos, it happens where they're both separated and they're both talking. And then if you don't, like in post, you can separate the tracks so that the audio is not like playing over top of each other. Because it would basically be like two people talking at once.
Yeah.
But the other cool thing is, and this doesn't really work like this as far as I know, but if we both had like earphones in, imagine we could both like hear each other talking and it's recording, so that
Yeah,
like
so it
you know,
must be like
yeah, like
those,
we could just,
yeah.
it's like we're on a phone call, like me and you could just keep talking and hear each other even though we're separated locally.
Yeah.
And that would be a kind of a fun thing to have, like for people to have, especially I feel at like a party or going on vacation at a theme park. You could have everyone recording and listening to the same conversation, but they could be separated. And that's just kind of cool because it would make it feel like you're enjoying the same event together, but you don't have to stick together.
Yeah.
Or like in a loud room, it would be
But
easier
I
to
think
talk.
like what those things called, like it's like,
Walkie-talkie.
yeah, what, that's exactly
But it would be like
walkie-talkie.
live
Like-
real-time walkie-talkie. Like it would be
Yeah,
live real-time
yes.
walkie-talkie
Yes.
that is always on, two-way communication and recording. So
Yes.
it's just like an enhanced walkie-talkie, but making use of like the Bluetooth
I think if
frequency.
you call me, I could still hear you, and whatever I said will be recorded, and whatever you said will be recorded too. So that's basically what you want. It's like, right?
Well, it's sort of, yeah, it's like everyone's on a group phone call with AirPods, and the phone call's being recorded.
Yeah,
and-
so the conversation is basically like connected, since like your
Yeah.
microphone catch whatever you said, my microphone catch whatever I said.
And maybe, like the reason why nobody just does that is because of battery. Like your phone would die fast.
Yeah.
It would be low quality. It would get like disconnected. But we're
I guess,
approaching a
like,
place
I
where
mean, but the thing is,
yeah.
like if you do that, we call each other, we might just record using the phone recording feature to record the whole thing. There's no point to use the microphone. You see what I mean? iPhone and whatever. Like,
yeah, the microphones. Yeah, in that case, no
yeah,
point.
you just record the whole conversation over the phone.
The phone is lower quality though, because it goes like the phone network cuts out stuff and it sounds low quality.
No, but like if you use the phone recording itself, I think it's good.
But you know when people call into like a radio station, like
yeah.
it's always, you can always tell a big difference between the host and the caller. And it's because like I guess a local
But if you
recording is
use,
higher
like,
quality.
yeah, but if you use like those like screen recording feature, just basically record whatever you said, right?
Yeah, I think for the most part there's no difference. But I'm pretty impressed every time I hear like one of these little things record or an actual microphone. Mm-hmm. When you play them side by side, there's a difference. Like if you're listening to like a 1 hour recording and it went into like a phone mode, it would seem like an odd drop in audio quality. But then you could sort of, if you have the phone call recorded both
Yeah.
with both systems, it's not going for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have the phone call recorded on both, then I think the mic would be like higher quality. And also the mic can sync with video.
Yes.
What's funny is that like my goal is to record like an authentic conversation, and on the way here we were saying that like normally authentically we'd both be on our phones, but we were like, when we put the mics on, it makes us feel like we got to talk and perform for the mic and like actually have the conversation that we want to.
Yeah.
But now on the way back we've already forgotten about the mics and we're just back on our phones. But then that is more like, that's more authentic of a conversation, the one where like we're not really paying attention to what each other is saying. But it's funny because it's like do I want to record an authentic conversation, because authentic conversations are like boring and pointless, or do I want to record, or do I want to enhance the quality of an authentic conversation by saying that I'm recording it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of like if people want to be present and listen to each other, then they will perform. It's like drinking a coffee and being more like alert. They'll perform better if they think they're performing for video and recording. But that's what they want to do, is they want to perform for each other and have like a higher standard. So then it's almost like,
I'm not
you
sure
know,
if I would do it like just,
like all the time.
yeah.
Well, my cadence is kind of like once a week with my friend, like at the computer. But since my friend for game dev in process is like traveling right now,
Who is traveling?
the min-max friend that I record, yeah.
Okay.
We record like Tuesday afternoons.
Yeah.
So I've been just doing like different, sometimes if my other friend too, like Lek, if he's not available for my other thing,
Okay.
then I record either solo or like me and the min-max friend, we already recorded like the Beta Breakers. That was an episode of this show. And that was such a low quality audio from bone conduction headphones that's what motivated me to learn better audio, like get a better technique for like mobile audio.
Yeah.
But another thing I want to try is bring these along when I'm at the Wonderland Trail race around Mount Rainier for 3 days.
Yeah.
That will be
This thing
interesting.
lasts for 3 days.
Well, they have a case. You've seen the case like in the photos, they both plug into the case. So these microphones, I think,
Honestly, I didn't pay attention to the photo. Sorry.
well, the microphones will last for like 7 or 8 hours or something.
Oh, that's long.
Yeah, so each of them 7 or 8 hours in one shot, and then if you put them in the case, they'll get like 2 or 3 recharges out of the case because the case has a battery.
So like the R5, it's like almost a month.
And if it's just me, like if one of the microphones dies, I can use the other
1.5
one.
months for sure. Then right, like. So some.
Oh, if you're saying 1 hour at a time. Yeah, well, I was thinking like I'll just wear it like all day or something.
Oh.
And for 3
it's
days.
like an hour. Okay.
But I think I could wear a microphone all day, wait till it dies, wear the other one, then charge them both and wear them again.
But
So that
but
would
the thing is, like when you run, do you talk?
Not normally, but I'm practicing like talking, doing monologues.
Okay, but do you feel like would affect your running result? Like
No, because sometimes I'm running with someone else and we're just talking.
Okay.
We're talking and jogging, and there's no
Yeah.
results in this race.
Well,
they don't actually time you.
Michael will be here on August 8th. He likes running. He's gonna live in downtown, and his parents are coming as well. We definitely would have dinner with their family. So you could record with Michael if you guys run.
Yeah. And I wonder too, like if I carried both microphones, which I would be anyway,
Yeah.
if I'm running with someone for most of the day, I can sort of tell them, hey, like I have these microphones. Do you want to just record like a 1 hour of us running, talking?
Yeah.
And that seems kind of fun. Like, or just at camp, I could interview someone at camp, like why they just choose to run this race. But in my mind, it's like none of that is going to turn out well, I don't think, or it's not going to be like extra fun. But it's going to give me the skill. Like the skill that I want is, if something is happening that I do want to record, I want to have the skill of sitting someone down and asking them the like reporting questions and getting like a story together and having it be good high audio quality.
Yes.
And so like whenever I just sort of absent-mindedly like do this stuff, it teaches me like, okay, the battery life, how do you start them, like how do you get the good quality, when do you need to use a wind filter. So it's just kind of, it's fun to have that skill because I feel like it'll.
So funny. Because I always find those signs funny because you usually give it to your dad and say you're the best dad ever, instead of putting your love.
It's sort of offensive to all other dads on Father's Day. It's kind of saying that all other dads.
My dad
are
is the best.
But also then, like that dad has a dad. So then it's also saying that like the
His
best
dad is not the best.
yeah, the dad of the best dad is not the best dad. But then that's actually interesting because saying like that it's the best dad, what makes a dad the best dad?
Yeah.
It would be that they're the best at being a dad. So their children would be very talented. But that dad is a child of someone else. So like how does the best dad get created? Well, you would need the best dad to create the best dad. And it's sort of like it's like, well, what's the original best dad?
Yeah.
They asked Tom Cruise what is his ideal Father's Day,
Oh.
and he just
But
said,
I saw that like he has a very bad relationship between him and his daughter, because
I
I,
don't know, I
recently
never heard
heard like Suri, which is his daughter, is changing her last name. Now she's over 18. She's changing her last name from Cruz to her mom's name.
oh yeah,
Like because I also heard like Tom Cruise was so into Scientology, he's gonna sacrifice his daughter for like that like Scientology. He's gonna give her daughter to one of the top.
oh yeah,
Yeah, like what's the term? It's like
bequeath or something, like arranged marriage.
I don't think it's gonna be marriage. It's more like when his daughter was very young, it's gonna like a child abuse thing. Like that's what that thing calls like the divorce between him and his ex, because his ex was like, well, it's okay that you are so into Scientology, but you can't not force me and or like our daughter to do crazy stuff. Like that's
weird when
it's even illegal. I don't understand. Like he must have so much money. So what's his point of making
it's not
that
like
much
he's giving
money,
back.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, like he's already done enough for like to promote the bad cause of Scientology by giving his name to them, that like
But-
they
but-
owe him everything else. Like he doesn't have
Well,
to
I'm pretty
sacrifice
sure
anything. for
Scientology
it.
has like a lot of actors in it. But I was saying that like I saw that like he performed well and collect all the money. It's to have like his daughter have like a good life, or his family, like of course include himself, to have a good life. But I can't believe he just like, I don't know if the story is true, but I heard that's the direct like reason they divorced, because his ex was like couldn't tolerate more for the craziness in his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't. But then I was wondering. That's why I also divorced. That I was married.
That's why you have a
married to
a
him.
fantasy marriage and a fantasy divorce.
Yes.
You have a whole story of why you got married and divorced. To
Yeah,
famous
well,
people.
he was so like cute when he was younger. When he was
But
young.
it was funny because his answer to what's your ideal Father's Day, he's like, you know, making movies, like having fun, being on set.
Yeah, because
and it was sort of like,
he has no
but it made me
daughter
realize,
almost
yeah,
now,
it just
okay?
made me realize, like I was like, yeah, I guess Father's Day is, you know, celebrating the father, but it's also kind of about the kid. Like the point is not for the father to have the best day individually. The point is for the father and the daughter or son to, or any gender, to bond. And that's the point, you know. But it's funny that, of course, like a narcissist would not think the kid is important to the Father's Day.
Yeah. Should we start?
Yeah, let me plug. That's my Mr. Son. It's actually
I
really
drank all the
easy
boba.
to use this
Do you want this
camera.
tea?
Okay.
All you have to do is
Here's
plug this
the-
little thing into your phone,
The front
and
yard.
then when you take a video, when you play your iPhone
Hands up.
video, the audio is just better because it's
Be careful.
using
Hands
so
up.
we're wearing like a couple $100 of mics.
You're so boring. All right. So here's the switch. You turn it on.
So this for the front yard, the switch. Yeah, I'll try to get like, this is sort
Yeah.
of,
It's there.
as long as I record everything I can review.
Okay. So basically watering.
See this, I'm also timing how many seconds Do you know what is too much water?
No, it will be never like too much water. So too much is totally fine.
Well, for delicate.
no,
for
no,
these
no.
ones.
Like yeah, no, it's totally. There's nothing like too much. They're only like not enough.
What's your goal? Just fill it so that there's water in there?
No, to water it like slowly.
But do you have a number of seconds that you're counting?
Like
Or you're just trying to make it like so there's clearly water?
there are clearly water running from the bottom. Running out from the bottom.
That's mostly a time. Oh yeah, I guess that kind of measures time.
Yeah.
But it is possible to water too much.
Yeah, well, no, like for like there-
Not these plants specifically?
yes, like not those plants specifically. They are as much water as possible.
Oh.
But also we have to pay for the water. We don't like we want a balance
Yeah, I guess
between not like spending too much money versus keep the flower good. You see, this one needs a lot of water. It's
every 7 days-ish?
no
every
every
5.
second, like ideally every day. That's why I keep coming here.
So for me though, like,
Yeah, but this is
Yeah.
like yeah.
but they should, like, it doesn't rain every day wherever these plants live. So they should be good.
No, they won't be good because these flowers are not perfect to grow up here.
Sometimes they say you're not even allowed to water things because
Yeah,
of like
well,
a drought.
like California, like government said, yes, don't water your flower every day, but nobody cares. Yeah, now see, stop.
I heard sometimes they give you like a ticket.
Yeah, but there's no evidence unless my neighbor reports me.
No, they have like a car they drive around, and then if they photograph you watering.
But they won't photograph me every day. Okay. Then these. Make sure you don't shoot the flower. Don't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want like a light mist
What?
of water, like the leaves, because plants get
If
water
it has
through their leaves.
flowers on, no.
But that would simulate rain.
Yeah, but like when it has flower blooming on it, you don't want rain.
Oh.
But since it's nature, we cannot change it. See, like no water is leaking out. It means they need more. Oh, sorry.
You're apologizing to the plant.
I apologize to Nancy remotely. Ideally, you don't shoot from one direction. You always rotate your gun, your water gun. Otherwise, like there will be a hole, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Actually, I forgot those two. But you don't have to record the whole thing. It's basically the same step to repeat though.
Yeah, if I just want to make sure like I do every pot. And that way I don't have to like think at all at the moment.
All right. Since there's no limitation, you don't have to worry that, oh my gosh, I water too much. You could just keep the water running each plant for like, I don't know, 20 seconds.
Well, for a small plant, that was surprising. They can handle like a
Then
lot.
like, then do it for 5 seconds. Gracias. The bigger pot definitely needs more water.
Are you gonna wear sunscreen
For what?
if we walk?
Yeah, of course. I have sunscreen in my bag.
I could also add more sunscreen.
Okay, then the flower watering process is gonna be long, so we could do it right after this section or later.
I guess they could have moved all the flowers to one spot.
Yeah, well, you could do it, but I'm
Are
just
they
too
gonna like
lazy.
move all the flowers when they move?
Of course.
It seems kind of hard.
What do you mean?
Like, they need a lot of space, and it's hard to move like wet dirt, and the flowers can't be like in a truck for a day or whatever.
Well, they're gonna still live in Pleasanton, so they won't like leave the flower in a truck for a day.
But just in terms of like, they can't fall over, they're kind of fragile, they're heavy.
Yeah, well, I think Nancy might just rent a U-Haul and move it herself. Okay, so we watered all and then repeat the same step twice. Let's start from the beginning. Well, the second time is like just not that much.
I guess I need like a key.
Oh yeah, I will give you the key, so don't worry. Those two are the switch for light. Okay, for the indoor one, they use ice. Then
Ice so that it slowly waters over time.
yeah.
But still every day.
No, like every time you come, you visit. So this one is easy. It's like you just put ice on. Doesn't matter how much you put on, just like fill
Covering
out
the
the
top.
space. Yeah, covering the top. Good English. Your English is very good.
Where did they learn this strategy?
Nancy is pretty professional in terms of gardening, okay?
Sometimes you just have to know though, 'cause like plants are sensitive to temperature.
Yeah, I guess she knows clearly.
Yeah. But see, if you like use the garden hose on these ones, they
Yeah.
would probably die.
You could use any container. You just grab any like big pot. Okay, I need more ice.
Nevi would like this part.
Yeah, oh, well, I always use a smaller container, but
Like smaller than this.
honestly, I usually use this.
But then even more fall.
No, no. It's gonna be like this. Perfect.
Oh, because it goes closer in.
Yeah, but today I was gonna show you. So the smaller plate doesn't hold that much ice.
There's not many plants left though.
But don't worry, the outdoor one, like you could throw those to the outdoor. Okay, done. I already throw the leftover ice.
What about the table?
Oh, the table one, just ignore it.
Forever?
Forever, yes. Yeah, just throw the ice to whatever. Okay, here comes to the backyard. The switch is here. It's kind of hidden.
Yeah, I'll take a look in just a second.
Behind the bush, same as Euro. Turn it on.
Counterclockwise, turn on.
That's a mistake I made.
You
I
got
should
spray.
always turn it off. Up, it's on. So this. And then the bottom one are fried gel from watering. They might be over water.
They
So
get-
just do a small raise. That's good
The
enough.
table kind of waters them for
Yeah,
free.
yeah. So that's why I don't really do anything.
See, this good I'm recording. Like, I could
Yeah,
just watch
like
this
basically
video.
it's
But you
like-
know, if we had like an AR headset, I could watch this video as I do it, like on with my glasses, if
Yeah.
that existed.
these are not mini orange, like very small tangerine orange, like this. Feel free to eat them.
Did you point to one? That one's pretty round. Also, spider.
Where? The
Spiders
spider
on top
white.
of the leaves.
What?
Well, just obviously like on the leaves, right? That's a spider web.
Yes, but there's no spider visible, okay?
Yeah, they would be really tiny.
Shut up. Okay, this section down. Then,
The hose gets pretty tangled.
yeah. For the plants on the table, they don't need that much water. So only this section do it once. Each of them 5 seconds is enough.
I wonder how many people have like this many plants and a fully automated watering system. You could just kind of run like a garden
Yeah,
hose
after
everywhere.
like 5 seconds each, you give them like a rinse. Then don't forget these 2 babe there.
These plants get a lot of shade because they're inside of a gazebo.
Yeah, so they only do it once, the ones on the table. Okay,
But
this
they don't
section
get very
done.
much sun.
Yeah, then I usually start from here. This is a date tree. You know dates?
Are there any dates on it?
No, Nancy told me last year they only have 1 single date.
I guess there's a seed inside the date.
Yeah. Yeah, the bigger pot needs more water, so keep watering.
There should just be like a plastic jug attached to every plant that you just fill to a certain level and then it slowly dispenses it.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, it would be kind of fun to just either have the job or have someone do the job of kind of just like filming as much of a life as possible. Like you could hire one person to just kind of like get whatever footage they could and audio footage. Like they would just constantly be distributing mics and cameras like to everything that you do. And then,
Yeah.
you know, someone editing it. And then you could just have like an entire life. Like I think now that we have this kind of technology, at the moment, I would imagine stuff like that's happening, where they're just documenting like entire lives in weird detail.
Yeah.
And those stories would be fascinating because really, like, any person is interesting if you have enough
Also,
like
don't shoot
detail.
the flower directly. Make sure your water gun is on the side.
Like, I think if you took anybody and you did that, they would become famous because people would start watching it. They would become really familiar with this one person's life.
Yeah.
And then, like, if that person did anything exciting, like go to a theme park or whatever, they would be excited for that person because they would be anticipating like how they would react. It would sort of feel like you're their family and you'd care about them as like
Sorry,
a family
can you move
member.
a bit? I'm gonna shoot.
But then also if it was like an underrepresented population or whatever, you'd become super familiar with their life and everything.
Also, their flowers. Those are new. Are they disease for the flower?
It just looks like stains, like dirt.
Doesn't. But it wasn't there yesterday, so.
That's very subtle though. Like, do you really remember exactly?
Of course, of course. Don't forget Nancy's plants.
We wanted it. It just
No,
like
those
swings
are
across the
vegetables.
couch.
Those are mint. These are mint, okay? Mint. Okay, then
Have you tasted them?
I only like mint with fall, so. But you could drink mint tea. You could make yourself mint tea. All right, then let's start on the deck. There.
Yeah, I think coming here twice would be kind of nice in the afternoons. Get a tea like both times, water the plants.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun, like the act of like planning a video shoot, because if I'm here alone, I could set up the tripod like at an angle,
Yeah.
and then but I could record my audio that's synced to the video the whole time, and I could just have this video of like me watering the plants talking.
Right.
And it's kind of cool that like if I just plan a little bit, like bring the tripod.
That's what I did. Like while I was watering, I always listen to music. Like.
Also, if you had a GoPro, we could mount the GoPro to the watering arm, and then you'd have like video from the perspective of the watering thing.
Oh yeah, but I don't think people want to see it. So.
That's what GoPro uses in all their advertisements. Like one of their shots is like someone like taped a GoPro to the bottom of their skateboard, and they have like footage of them skateboarding, but the camera's like under the skateboard, and it's not even good footage, but it's just like, it just shows like the camera is tiny, but it's like, maybe that's too tiny because there's no point to doing that whatsoever. But like people will be compelled to just do this really weird shot because they can.
Yeah. That one is beautiful, huh?
Yeah, a long time ago, before they had the ability to manufacture artificial color, flowers must have been like,
Very plain.
well, no, like these flowers would still be the same color, but they would be so much more impressive because you could never, like you would not have
Oh, I see what
markers.
you
You
mean,
wouldn't,
yeah.
you wouldn't have computer screens or markers that could fake those colors. That's all the only thing that would be that color would be that flower. And so if you went to like a flower garden, you'd see colors that you've never seen before. But I guess if you ever go into nature, you'd see the similar colors. But like a deep, like so few things are like a dark purple. I don't know if you'd ever even see the color purple,
No, there. One of the roads is purple.
but if you lived in a country where like that, there's no roses, and then you saw a rose garden, you'd see purple for like the first time
yeah.
in your life, I guess. And that's kind of weird.
But I think
Like, and you wouldn't
like
necessarily
I heard
know.
all blue and purple are artificial colors that like they
Yeah.
not artificial, they manually like transfer from white rose initially. You see what I mean? Like
But also, you'd never see a color wheel. So you would never know if you've seen all the colors.
yeah.
Like today we know that's all of them. But you'd kind of wonder, like, is there another color out there that we haven't seen? You'd have no way to calculate.
yeah.
I guess if you saw a rainbow, that would be like most of the colors, and maybe.
In nature, it doesn't have
Like
black
every,
and
yeah.
white. Other than that, I
Or
think
like a crystal. That would be kind of magical, like a crystal showing you all the bands of color.
yeah.
That one could be digging a hole.
Yeah, but that one has no other like direction I could shoot the water without hurting the flower.
Do you move the net?
Well, you could if you want. Doesn't matter.
Well, how are you? I guess you'll go around it. Yeah.
It's very light, so it's moving.
You could go under it,
I don't go under it.
but then the hose is going to get stuck.
About I usually just do this.
Did you ever see home videos? Like, did someone, when you were a kid, have like a video camera that they filmed, like birthdays or something?
Yeah, I live in China, but like we have technology too. Okay.
Well, that's what I wonder then. Because this reminds me of home video where like someone is just holding a camera while some boring activity happens and they're talking, and you sort of wonder like, what's the occasion? Like, why did they bring the video camera? You know, like when they walk around to a party and everyone like talks to the camera a little bit goofy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that people don't really do that as much anymore. They kind of take it for granted because they feel they can always, like video is so easy. They're always looking for like something good for video. They don't like having just, like video itself is not interesting enough to be, so we don't have these like,
Or people get tired of seeing too many content. It's like if I want to see a family video, I just go on TikTok.
yeah. But now it's crossing a line where it's so easy. You can just kind of collect video. There's no effort, so you can just get it. You don't have to put in like any effort to get a low quality thing. You can just do a low quality effort for a high quality thing.
Yeah, but I guess people don't understand what's the point of doing like a low quality thing.
But whatever the point was with home videos, like people cherish the
I think
in-between
the whole
memories.
video was like because cameras were just out of, like, just cameras were just out. So people were like, oh my gosh, we could capture this amazing moment. Now people are like, okay, good stuffs are on the content every day. Of course, like my friend was so funny. My friend Rosie, we did like a girls trip together, right? And sometimes when we visit like a landmark, she couldn't take perfect pictures because like either the sky's problem or there are too many people. She just go on social media, find a perfect photo, and then when she posts online, she use like partially her own picture plus some like partial online photo. They're like, she's like, I didn't lie, I went there, I saw the building, it's just right there. I just couldn't take like a perfect photo. So yeah, I'm not saying like I went to like a place that I've never been to and lie on social media. It's like I literally went there, so it doesn't count as lie.
Yeah, I guess a lot of the reason for the photo is like for oneself, like the memory for themselves. And the photo is kind of recording like what kind of camera did you have when you took the photo, and like what was the weather that day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, she has those memory, but when she like post online, I think she want other people to see the best one.
But it's sort of like in the future, when you look at that photo, you'd be like, oh, did you have a good camera? And like, did you know something about photography? But if the answer is like no, then it's sort of like the photo.
She won't take the perfect ones. She will take the ones slightly better than hers.
But I think the only way to get like the most authentic photo that captures information that we're not even thinking of, it's sort of to capture it with the tools that you have.
Yeah, that's also true.
But yeah, I think in the future, like, it's not always going to be the highest quality content that people are interested in.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll just want to go into the archives and find some totally random video and just hear people from the past. Like, you know, if we had a video from like 100 years ago with good audio and everything, that would just be fascinating no matter what's happening, because the little things that people do and talk about, that would reveal to us something about their life that they didn't realize themselves. Like, they're just documenting what they had. And so then, like, finding this video and not having any context, like 200 years from now, it would sort of be like, can you watch this video and can you learn something? You know, like a historian could study this video and kind of learn things about our life that we're capturing it at this moment that we don't think is notable because it's just the current technology that we have.
Yeah.
Because even like, it is weird to use this amount of water, like for anything. But even considering that fresh water is so like valuable, if somebody sees this video from like a country where they have very little water.
That's why sometimes I don't enjoy posting on social media. People always criticize instead of appreciating my beautiful flower. They're like, oh my gosh, you waste too much water, and also you didn't plant well. This one should not in a pot. Oh my gosh, your pot is too small. You didn't water it properly.
But that's sort of the same as like if a rich person posts a video of like their mansion, then it sort of feels bad. But like in a relative sense, that's what we're doing. Like we don't really realize
And well, it's done for today because I watered everything before. When you do it, all this section.
Everything off the deck?
No, like from here to here.
And inside the gazebo or no?
No, not inside the gazebo. Like basically this section. See, Nancy would be very angry when she see I hate her flower. But like this section need to be watered twice. But today it's good. Turn it off.
Because you did it?
I did it yesterday. Today was more like a demo. Backyard doesn't need to be watered every day. And then, yeah, I used the, my pants became so dirty. I used the last water resource to this date tree. I guess you didn't came early enough. You will see this section is under the sun. So off the deck, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this like 12 section plus 1, 2, 3, 4 plus this 4.
Huh.
You see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think these plants were put here because they need more sunlight?
Yeah, they do. And turn it off. Like this, it's off. So put it here.
And
Okay.
turn the tap off?
Already turned
Oh yeah,
it.
we turned it off.
Yeah. Okay. Ready? Open this. Take this paper cup out. Grab 1, 2, 3.
What's inside there?
Then it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Forget what's inside there. 1, 2, 3. And then under the ice. You don't have to record the whole thing, only if you want.
Yeah, I guess when I post this, it'll just be like a splash image, but anytime I have video, that can be used. So this is kind of like B-roll, and if something interesting happens, then it becomes A-roll.
Okay.
I don't know if the term is A-roll or not.
All right. Bag 1 filled. Also, I need to bag 2. Bag 1 need to be very full. Bag 2. Here we come.
Does this make enough ice every day?
If there's no enough ice, use water. But it should be enough for 2 bags at least.
I just don't want to record face for now. Actually, I guess recording a face is similar to just like posting a photo. But maybe, since we're like recording parts of the house, we don't want to like associate all that. Your nails? Fancy nails?
This one fancier, guys. That has diamond on it. All right, back 2 down. I think I dropped 1 ice. The good thing about ice is because it melts, and also you don't have to worry if the bag is broken or not. If you put water, you better test if to see the small bag has a hole on it or not. Bag 3, here we come. I think I dropped the ice.
What are these going to be for?
I'll show you in a second. You remember which section doing twice, right? The front front yard and the backyard only of the deck section.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, like 3 down.
I think that you don't necessarily need to dispense the ice. Like it should just be in there in a container.
Yeah, but I don't want to use my dirty hands to grab it from here. And I'm not even sure how to grab it.
There would be somewhere to like dispense it. Like maybe the whole bucket can be extracted.
Oh, sure. If you want to do it, go ahead. And also you zip it tightly.
Well, I still don't know what it's for.
So then depend on whatever tool you want to use. I usually use scissor. Scissor is usually in this drawer. And then you cut a small hole. This big is good. Usually I cut 2. Doesn't matter which location. You already cut 1 or 2 holes, that's good enough. Yeah, then remember which side you cut the hole. Then let's go. Can you open the door for me? So the hole side is on the bottom. Here's the hole. One back here. Yeah, here's the hole. One back here. And here's the hole. One back here. So tomorrow, when we are not here, they will be watered tomorrow. Down. Garage door locked. Then this door.
Should I keep the key?
Well, it doesn't matter. Well, you give it to me first. I guess I'm gonna come here before I leave anyways.
Yeah, having these mics is pretty cool because since MinMax uses the same ones, I'm like learning a bit behind the scenes, it feels like, about how they do stuff.
Yeah.
But one thing is that if you want to sync, it's possible that their mics just sync directly to the GoPro that they use, or the base, maybe the base station that the GoPro's in.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe they have I think they actually have like not a GoPro, but like a stabilized camera, which probably picks up the Bluetooth. Because if you have the little base station plugged into your iPhone, it shows you the levels. And so like if you can't hear the other person, they're away from you, but they're still connected to the base station, you can see like the level moving if they're talking.
Yeah.
And sometimes in MinMax, they wonder like, is the other person talking right now? They don't want to talk over them.
I see.
But like they would be able to see the levels, but sometimes you can't distinguish like noise
That's
from
cool.
talking.
But I think that's okay. Like, if you talk over them.
Yeah, I'm actually, like, you know my Outer Wilds rap video?
Yeah.
And like I felt that that audio quality was really good, like luckily, and then it was in time with the beat. And now I'm trying to record another song, but my audio is like bad. I hear the popping noises. And so I'm learning more about how to, like if you really want, if you want good audio, you sort of have to know the whole chain and like make decisions about how to get the best audio.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you will get good audio just by chance, which is basically what has always happened to me.
Yeah.
But now I'm learning, like, so what I learned was when you're talking into a microphone, like the one on my desk, there's a dial on it. And if you put that dial really low, it will not pick up noises unless they're loud enough.
Okay.
So for example, if you're like right up against the microphone, you could turn it way down, the gain, you can turn the gain down.
Yeah.
And then you'll hear like no background noise. All you're hear is like you talking loudly into it will be like a normal, that will get a signal, but
Yeah.
it'll mute out like all the fan and everything. But if you're like not close to the microphone, or if you're talking quietly, you can turn the gain on the microphone up, but then you will hear like the background noise and everything, but it will pick up like everything in the room.
Yes.
If you wanted that.
Yes.
So that's like the first thing about audio is like, if like you basically want that gain as low as possible, while it's picking up the full amount of what you're saying,
Yeah.
because then it will not pick up anything extra. And they said like if you tilt it like away from you and you put it off to the side, then the most powerful, like the P sounds and the popping, will be missed by it.
Yeah.
So you're not talking directly into it, so it sort of like muffles the more powerful sounds. And so those were two strategies where like getting the gain right on the microphone. But that's also why, you know, if somebody attaches mics to people and they want good audio, they say like, you know, talk in a normal voice, and then they watch the level before they've even started the recording because they want to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're
I
trying
think
to like
I saw,
adjust.
Like,
Yeah.
when I was at the university, like when you all hold a conference, I even saw professor student did those like testing thing.
Yeah, like they're like say
Yeah.
talk in your normal voice and then
Yeah.
they adjust the
And
levels.
also like they have to like a camera tape the whole thing, right? They have to match only tape the speakers, like the speaker's microphone. So it's like so audience microphone won't be taped. Like so when audience one of the audience propose a question, the camera won't videotape the guy. Only the microphone record.
Yeah.
You see, yeah, like it's pretty like cool to see how
Yeah,
they
yeah.
test it. Yeah.
Like the more complicated the audio, the more it's definitely like a whole, like you need an audio guy working it all.
Yeah, yeah, they had to like test like a bunch of stuff. Like before, like you saw they just record the whole thing. Actually, it's not that easy. It's like there are lots
Yeah.
of small stuff to figure out.
Yeah, because basically the problem is if,
Yeah.
like if the gain is too high,
Yeah.
or you're talking too loudly, it will peak the microphone and then it just cuts off. Like it's when people like shout and it cuts off at the top and you can't, like the quality drops because it's not actually, it's like maxing out the recording ability of the microphone
Yeah.
for the sound level. And so that's, if they always want to make sure like the gain is low enough so that the loudest noises will not be cut by the microphone,
Yeah.
because that will reduce, that's like the most dangerous thing of reducing the quality.
Yes.
But then the thing is, if the gain is, so if the gain is very low and you're talking too quietly,
Yeah.
then there's something called like the noise floor, where like if you gave someone like an audio track and the speaker is super quiet, then you can boost the audio. But if they're talking quietly enough so that the background noise is like just barely under where they're talking, when you boost it, you're boosting like the background noise too.
Yeah.
So then when you boost the signal, you'll hear like their voice will be loud, but also really close to their voice will be the background noise that also gets boosted.
Yeah.
And the only thing you can do then is if you have 1 minute of room noise or about that, you can use that to do like audio, like background noise reduction using an algorithm.
Yes, I think like editors now do a pretty good job of removing like background
Yeah.
noise. But
Well,
sometimes they
Audacity has that. I've used that many times in Audacity. I just, when I'm done recording, I sit there for a minute making no noise, and then I can tell Audacity
Yeah,
like
like
use
I
a
was very
reference.
surprised how smart those like noise
Yeah.
removal, like software it.
Well, basically only if it's a repeating background noise.
I know, but like still, though,
Yeah.
they do a really good job.
Yeah. Because the thing about multi-track is like, and this is something that I learned also, is like when I screen record with OBS, like I
Yeah.
record my screen and I record my microphone and I record what's coming on the speakers. What it used to
Yeah.
do was it would record like the video of my screen, and then it would record the audio of everybody, like every audio, me talking and all my friends and stuff. It would merge that all into one audio track. And the problem was like
Yeah.
if one person is talking quietly and everybody else is normal, then you can't boost that one person individually because it's one audio track. But
Yeah.
now I can tell OBS like separate, like record my input microphone on a separate track than the background noise, and then you have like independent control. And this too, like in this case, both my thing is recording an audio file and yours is too, and they'll be totally separate. And then, oh yeah, one interesting thing that I forgot is like sometimes you can clap to like sync the recordings. Like if both microphones here, like I'll do a clap noise because both microphones pick that up, and you'll see it as like a peak
Yeah.
in the thing. And if you line up the
I
peak,
think that's why when before people do record, they have those like clip sound. Then you know where to cut it if you want to like edit
Yeah.
your like record later.
and also that's why you plug the base station into the camera, because
Yes.
then the video knows like
Yes.
the audio.
Want to hear some juice?
Sure.
Like when I told you Emmy's dad died, right?
The story of Emmy's dad.
Her dad died like
Oh yeah.
like a
I don't
few
think
years
I
ago.
heard. Well,
I definitely told
Yeah.
you, but it doesn't matter.
a few years. Yeah.
Yeah, a few years ago, basically before Amy went to university, just basically I think when she was in grade 12, her dad passed away because like some like very sudden disease, not heart attack, but it's like just I forgot what it's called. Like there's something not kidney. Like what's the organ right beside kidney?
There's like a spleen, a kidney, a spleen, a liver.
Not liver, yeah, probably the other organ.
Spleen is something that you don't need. You could have that removed, but it can get infected. If a spleen gets infected, it's a common surgery to have it removed, and it doesn't make a difference.
Oh, then no, not that one.
Like an organ that you need,
Yeah, of course.
like an intestine. Yeah, there's kidney, intestine, liver. That says courage.
or this one.
Oh yeah, gallbladder.
Yeah, gallbladder is like untreatable one.
Huh.
So
I forget what that. It says bladder. Bladder.
honestly, even in Mandarin,
guess
I'm not
the
sure what this
gallbladder.
what
Yeah,
this
what
organ
does it do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So her dad passed away. When like so basically this is a very young age. I think was like 40 or something, right?
That's a pretty unique. Like if it's not cancer and it's not, it's a very. That's like feels like a rare thing. Like
Yeah, I guess no one
'cause
says
no one-
coming.
yeah,
Like,
it's like
yeah.
I don't even know what affects that. Like your diet or genetics or something. And do you need
probably
your gallbladder?
Genetic because Emmett's gallbladder is not that great. Like nothing wrong with it, but just like there are like when you do a blood test, there are numbers to show you are in good zone or not. Like for her gallbladder, it's like gallbladder is not in the perfect section, but normally it's like people's kidney.
Yeah.
That he couldn't even show that he didn't do he did something illegal. It's because he was on the wrong side. That like her godfather's boss also got caught.
I don't know if he was like on the wrong side or he just had personal beliefs that was like the side he believed in.
No, yes, but the entire
Yeah.
side got kicked out.
But then I guess the
For
question
putting in
is
the jail.
like, it's like, do you support the side you believe in and try to help it win? Or do you just switch to whatever side is gonna
Yeah,
win?
but the other side doesn't let you switch. Once you choose your side, you are there forever in the government.
Yeah, so basically just like choose the side you believe in and fight for it. And then
Yes,
the
that's why.
punishment is...
Yeah, of course.
But so like, it's not like he made a mistake choosing the side. He fought and lost a political battle that hopefully he believed in. And I don't think, so being in jail is not anything other than
okay,
he did what he believed
then they're
in.
like, they say, then the government is like, you don't have to be in jail if you pay $1 trillion yuan. They couldn't, like, okay.
It's so funny how they
Then
just
the
say
question is
flatly
like,
that.
as a wife, you need to think about how much money you want to sacrifice from the family to save your husband. You can't give $1 trillion because that's how much money you took from the government.
Yeah.
If you give them all, then what's the point for the entire life? So you have to negotiate with government. Say, okay, I can only take 300, like, I don't know, 30 million or $500 billion to you to save my husband.
I guess ideally, like, the person is worth more. So like, if you can convince the government you're giving them everything you have and you kind of are, that's interesting.
No,
That would
they
be
are
the
not
most
giving.
interesting.
They just let the person
Yeah,
in
but-
jail for 20 years.
Yeah, it's, I guess that like 20, if he gets out after 20 years,
He
that's
doesn't even
interesting.
want. He doesn't even want to be, like,
Saved.
yes, because he want his like son and daughter have better life. Okay, if you, I don't know if in that situation, let me ask me that question.
Well, yeah, 'cause
honestly,
we
I'm willing to sacrifice half of my money, half of the trillion to Sylvia, but only half of the trillion, just so you know.
Well, I don't think I would be less happy, like, under any condition. Like, if I was in
So
some
the
conditions that I didn't
question
have a
to you,
choice.
if you have $1 trillion,
Yeah.
they ask you to,
Well, I would
give out the
save
trillion.
you. Yeah, because,
you know how much $1 trillion? You will never make that much money in your whole life. I told Amy, like, pretty honest that I'm fine. It's like 50 or 75% of my saving, but I cannot give all the money to the government,
yeah.
to Sylvia. So what's your decision?
Well, I still live, like, if I'm in some kind of jail and I don't have a choice and I'm just there, then my
Okay,
strategy,
you don't want to be saved either?
well, I wouldn't need to be saved because,
Okay, then
Yeah.
if I want to be saved, will you sacrifice $1 trillion?
yeah, I feel like it makes sense to me, like, as I've explained this entire time, like, the money is, I enjoy sacrificing the money to prove to myself that I care about things that are not the money.
Liar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, like, my life wouldn't have any meaning if I'm just sitting around with $1 trillion and everyone knows me as the guy who got that money by, like, sacrificing another human. It's sort of like, obviously, I would rather make the sacrifice, and then everyone I talk to, I'm sort of proud that, like, I did what I believed in, rather than show up with all this, like, free money and swag and try to convince them that, like, I wouldn't sell them out immediately.
Well, you are not convincing anybody. There, no one is judging you because no other people know your story. It's just like, are you gonna save the family? Most people will say no.
I guess in that case, though, like me and you could go to jail right now and put all our money in the bank in the name of some future generation, and that's
I'm not.
like we
I'm
could
not going
decide
into
to
jail.
sacrifice.
I'm gonna spend all my
Yeah.
money before I die, just so you know.
But we do have that choice also. Like, we could sacrifice ourselves. That is like a choice.
Why do no?
Right.
I'm saying I'm not sacrificing myself by going to jail.
Yeah.
If you go ahead. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't mean necessarily jail or whatever, but like, we don't have to have like one of us go to jail forcefully. We might have some time before it goes. We could stand down here because it's quieter.
No,
20. There's like 20 minutes.
But I still want to go up and talk. Can I have my water?
Yeah. It actually might be there.
Okay, then you are so wrong.
Yeah, I'll end these things now.